In this moment, there are two truths I would love to remind you of. One, every single one of us gets humbled in this life. It doesn't matter where you are, who you are, how you are. Every single one of us gets humbled. And not just once, but more than once in this life. None of us can escape being humbled. Two, being humbled always happens on purpose. And I truly believe that every single experience in this life intends to teach us an important lesson that we're meant to learn in that moment that we are experiencing that experience. And I also really believe that of all the seasons that we experience in our lives, it's the humbling ones where we really have the opportunity to learn the most. And I'm gonna keep it real with you. These past few years of your girl's life have felt so humbling. And I tweeted not long ago, I felt inspired in the moment to encourage everyone to make the most out of the humbling seasons in their life and journey through them with the confidence of knowing that it's simply a season and that it is temporary. And again, to make the most of it. Because again, it's in the humbling seasons where we really do have the opportunity to gain so much wisdom. Upon sharing that tweet, I thought to myself, I would love to create some prompts and share these prompts with you all with the intention to assist you in making the most out of the humbling seasons and experiences of your life. So in this video, I am sharing with you and guiding you through 8 journaling prompts directly inspired by the humbling seasons and experiences of our lives, and that are purely intending to assist you in making the most out of the humbling season, the humbling experience that you may be growing through in this moment. And before I share them with you and guide you through them, I just want to say from one fellow human being to another, I'm so proud of you, and I'm so honored to share these prompts with you. And I just love so much that you are holding space for this and are investing your time and energy in this way to make the most out of this season of your life that may feel so challenging and may feel so uncertain. But here you are intending to make the most out of it and opening yourself up to receive the wisdom that it is intending to gift you. Now, without further ado, let's get into these 8 journaling prompts. In what ways is this season of my life humbling me? Now, let's just start here, right? Let's get clear on how it is that you feel this season of your life, this experience of your life is humbling you. In what ways do you feel you are being humbled in this moment? And I encourage you to be as detailed and specific and open and honest and vulnerable as possible, because it is only when we allow ourselves to be detailed, to be specific, to be open, to be honest, to be vulnerable, where we really get to dive into the depths of the experience we are having. So let's go ahead and allow ourselves to dive deep in this journaling session as we hold space to make the most out of this humbling season of our lives. And let's start by doing so by getting really clear on all the ways in which we feel we're being humbled in this season, in this experience, in this moment of our lives. Looking back, what actions and or inactions may have contributed to leading me to this humbling season? I feel like this is such an important prompt for us to reflect on in our humbling seasons, because the truth is, we do play a role in where we end up in our lives at any and every given moment. And it's so important that in our reflections and contemplations of our lives, we are holding ourselves accountable for our actions and inactions and where they lead us. So let's continue to keep it real with ourselves and ask yourself, take a moment to reflect on the season leading up to this humbling season, on the experience leading up to this humbling experience. What actions may have played a role in leading you to being humbled now? What inactions may have played a role in leading you to being humbled now? And I encourage every single one of us to journal this prompt during our humbling season so that we can gain the awareness of what actions and or inactions lead us to being humbled. And so that moving forward, we can be more mindful of these actions and inactions. What is this humbling season distancing me from? And what is this humbling season bringing me closer to? I love this prompt because these humbling seasons of our lives really do be distancing us from certain people, places, and things, and bringing us closer to certain people, places, and things. Now, speaking of people, places, and things, I do want us, and I do encourage you to think on this very expansively. What do I mean by that? I mean, for example, so often, when we contemplate on prompts like this, some of the first things that come to mind are the relationships in our lives. So, this humbling season is distancing me from XYZ relationship, and it's bringing me closer to this other XYZ relationship. While that may absolutely be true, and it probably is, because relationships are such a big part of our lives that every single season that we grow through in our lives do impact the relationships in our lives. So if you feel called to journal about and expand on certain relationships that you feel this humbling season of your life has distanced you from and brought you closer to, please journal and expand as much as your heart desires. However, I do want us to think expansively in such a way where we're also considering the behaviors, the beliefs, the values, the morals, the energies, the mental, physical, spiritual patterns and cycles, all of that. All of those intricacies and important aspects and details of our lives that we have the tendency to skip over and not look into. And they're all just so important. So take a moment to reflect on this and allow yourself to be a bit more expansive as to what it is that you feel this humbling season of your life is distancing you from and bringing you closer to. In short, don't limit your perspective and see the bigger picture. What lessons do I feel I am meant to learn through this humbling season? As I mentioned earlier in this video, I really do believe that of all the seasons we experience in our lives, it's the humbling seasons where we honestly have the opportunity to learn the most. It's when we feel challenged. It's when we feel like there are just certain obstacles and difficulties and struggles that just maybe, some tough teachers and lessons, but nevertheless make such a long-lasting impression on us. And it's really on us to seek out those teachers and to seek out those lessons, not only in the humbling seasons, but in every season of our lives. And that is one of the biggest ways that we reclaim our power and our sovereignty and take back control, all the control that we can possibly get of our lives. So, what lessons do you feel you are meant to be learning in this humbling season of your life? What has this humbling season reminded me of and or made me realize that I don't want to forget? Something that's true about all of our humbling seasons is that they come with reminders and they come with realizations, and more often than not, one of those realizations is always surrounding things that we may have taken for granted. Oh my goodness, I'm realizing now what a blessing that was. I wasn't even acknowledging acknowledging it as a blessing at the time. And now that I'm being humbled, oh my gosh, I'm counting my blessings. I'm being reminded to always say, I love you. I'm being reminded of just how grateful we should always be. I'm realizing how privileged I was to be able to do X, Y, Z, whatever the reminders and the realizations may be for you in this humbling season. Please take note of them so you do not forget what those reminders and realizations are, because oh my goodness, do they come through in the humbling season. So my friend, what are those reminders that are coming through for you in this humbling season of your life? What are those realizations that are coming through for you in this humbling season of your life? And let me just say, these reminders and these realizations are blessings. They are blessings that come with humbling seasons, and they come in a way that can only come through a humbling season. So, again, what has this humbling season reminded you of, made you realize that you don't want to forget? How is this humbling season changing me and my life mentally, physically, and spiritually? Again, as I mentioned earlier in this video, the humbling seasons of our lives happen on purpose. And in large part, that purpose is to create change. The humbling seasons of our lives are meant to change us. They're meant to refine us. I like to see life changes as life refinements, as life purifications, if you will. And they're not just physical changes that we're meant to experience, but mental changes and spiritual changes as well. So I'm encouraging you to again take a moment to reflect on the ways in which this humbling season of your life is intending to create change in your life, mentally, physically, and spiritually. What are the changes that you are noting are taking place? What are the changes you are noting you are meant to create? Because sometimes the humbling seasons of our lives naturally just bring about the change. But sometimes the humbling seasons of our lives are asking us to be the ones to create the change. Now, something that I do want to acknowledge here is that some of you may be going through your humbling season and experiencing changes that you just do not want to experience, that you may be dreading, that may not be feeling good in this moment. And my heart goes out to you. And again, I'm telling you, the truth is that we all go through this. Every single one of us in this life, on this planet, experiences this. And you're not alone. And I'm not advocating toxic positivity, because I just don't support that at all. But again, I do firmly believe that every experience in our lives is intending to teach us something that we're meant to learn in that moment that we're experiencing that. And when we lean into that, when we get curious and focus more on the potential for growth and focus less on what we're perceiving we're losing, it is a practice, and it is so important, and it is also just so helpful in assisting us to grow through the challenging, humbling season. All that to say, again, I just pray that these prompts are assisting you in making the most out of this humbling season, in seeing the light in all the potential darkness that you may be seeing. And your girl just wants to remind you, your sis just wants to remind you that we truly have the power to shift our perspectives in a way where we become empowered by everything we go through. And in shifting our perspective, as small as that may seem, we literally shift the whole experience. So I'm not going to get into that even more. I just felt called to share that. How is this humbling season changing you mentally, physically, and spiritually? What will my testimony be when I not only overcome, but succeed the tests from this humbling season? Every humbling season comes with tests. When we are being humbled, we are being tested in some way, shape, or form. And something that I personally love to consider, love to contemplate, and feel so empowered by is the testimony. When we are being tested in this life, we are being given the opportunity to walk away with a testimony. And that is such a gift. So, what will your testimony be when you not only overcome, but succeed the tests from this humbling season of your life? And one of the reasons why I love this prompt is because it already positions us in the state of being that we have overcome, that we have succeeded the tests, the humbling season, and we have walked away with an important testimony to share with not only ourselves, but the world. So, what wisdom are you walking away with from this humbling season of your life that you are being tested with in some way, shape, or form? Let's take a moment to meditate on this and allow ourselves to envision ourselves walking away, having overcome, having succeeded, and having an important, wisdom-filled, enlightening testimony. What will that testimony be for you? Why am I ultimately grateful for this humbling season of my life? Now, I know that it can feel difficult to express gratitude for something when you're in the thick of it and when it just feels like there's just nothing to be grateful for it. However, I hope that upon journaling all of these previous prompts, whatever prompts it is that you chose to journal, I hope that they gifted you some light and some ability to express sincere gratitude for this humbling season of your life, because I'm telling you, there really is so much to be grateful for. All the lessons, all the realizations, all the reminders, all the refinements, the changes. Again, being in the thick of it, difficult. But ultimately, I'm telling you, especially when you are, all of you here are already taking charge and being intentional and investing your time and energy in this way to even, be looking up content like this and be journaling these prompts. Like, I already know you're going to be walking away from this humbling season of your life just feeling so grateful. Like, you totally got this. But this prompt is already gifting us the opportunity to affirm and declare that we are indeed going to be walking away from this humbling season, ultimately just feeling so, so grateful. And we don't even have to wait until this humbling season is over to feel grateful. We can allow ourselves to feel grateful now. We have the ability to feel grateful now, even as we're still moving and journeying and growing and changing and learning. I don't know if I already said that, through it. Okay? So, why are you ultimately grateful for this humbling season of your life? And feel free to refer back on the prompts that you have chosen to journal that I've shared with you to assist you in expressing your gratitude. And that, my friends, are the 8 journaling prompts to make the most out of your humbling season, your humbling experience, your humbling moments. Again, I pray that these prompts sincerely have assisted you in this way and have gifted you clarity and confidence and comfort in some way, shape, or form. And again, I just want to reiterate that I am just so proud of you and I so believe in you. And again, practice and actively choose to focus more on how this season of your life is intending to bring you closer to your higher potentials. Focus more on all it is that you are gaining and focus less on what you feel and perceive you are losing, okay? I'd love to know which prompts you resonated with the most in the comment section below. And if you have another prompt to suggest and offer to our community, share that prompt in the comment section below as well. I am sending you all the warmest digital hug, and I look forward to seeing you and speaking with you and sharing energy and presence with you in the next video. So much love and gratitude. Bye.